2 million people got their bachelor's degrees in the spring of 2025, and just 30% of those graduates reported a full-time job. So if you've been applying to jobs and feeling like nothing makes sense anymore, you're not crazy. People are doing everything they were told to do. They're getting degrees, polishing their resumes, and sending out dozens, maybe hundreds of applications, and still nothing happens. So in this video, I want to explain what's really going on in the job market, why so many people feel stuck at the starting line, and most importantly, what actually works if you want to break in right now. No fluff, no sugarcoating, just what's going on and what you can actually do about it. First off, I know it feels like it, but the job market isn't broken and companies are definitely still hiring. The real issue is that everyone's fighting over the exact same crowded fields, sending in AI resumes that all look alike and trying to get into a pool of jobs that keeps getting smaller. That's what's causing all the frustration. Sure, there are legit issues like ghost jobs, employers demanding degrees for no reason, hiring systems that make zero sense, but these problems hit certain industries way harder than others, and that's a huge detail that you need to understand. You've probably seen the stats about ghost jobs. In 2024, studies found that about 4 out of 10 companies admitted to posting job openings they actually never planned to fill. That sounds pretty bad, and yeah, it's annoying, but here's what most people don't tell you. These fake postings are usually for white-collar, degree-required office jobs. Think marketing, HR, general business roles, and entry-level tech positions. Companies throw them up to build candidate pools, get resumes, make investors think that they're growing, or just to keep their options open when things feel uncertain. It's super frustrating, but now you know why your applications seem to disappear in these particular industries. But it doesn't necessarily mean that hiring stopped across the board. This is where the idea of entry level really breaks down. Between 2021 and 2024, entry-level job postings dropped about 11%. Roles needing no experience fell 7 to 10%. But companies didn't just stop needing work done. They didn't just stop hiring. They just stopped being willing to teach people from scratch. They want people who can jump in and add value quickly, especially in jobs that are directly involved with driving revenue, operations, or creating tactical work. That's why the vague entry-level positions are vanishing, while roles that need specific skills are still in demand. These changes are hitting recent college grads especially hard. For the first time ever in the US, new graduates actually have a worse unemployment rate than the overall national average. Shocking, right? It's not because their degrees are worthless, but because the degrees now become the bare minimum instead of something that sets you apart. Millions of new graduates pile into the same few fields, and employers assume colleges will give students the practical skills they need when most programs actually just teach concepts in theory. So graduates leave school with degrees and debt, but barely any real-world experience that actually gets them job ready. Listen, that's not your fault. It's a gap between what the education gives you and what the workplace asks for. The real problem for job seekers today isn't lack of hustle or brains. It's where they're choosing to fight. They're throwing themselves into arenas where the crowd is massive and their chances are slim at best. When you apply to broad business roles like marketing assistant gigs, entry-level tech spots at giant companies, or those corporate training programs, you're up against hundreds or sometimes thousands of other applicants for one opening. Even qualified candidates get knocked out by filters and ATS systems. Meanwhile, whole categories of jobs keep hiring steadily because they're hands-on, skill-driven, and tied to actual work that needs doing. And most people never even think about them seriously. Hiring hasn't stopped. It's just shifted to positions that solve actual business problems, tied directly to making money or keeping things running, and prioritize particular skills you can pick up. Jobs like construction estimating, IT support and systems work, sales operations, supply chain and procurement, project coordination are still bringing people on regularly. These aren't the big, sexy Silicon Valley jobs, but they're straightforward, and right now, straightforward beats confusing every time. Most of the advice you hear is still stuck in the past. You've probably been told to just grab any job and work your way up from there. That strategy used to work, but today's hiring systems don't operate that way anymore. Applicant tracking systems look for specific skills, the right keywords, and the experience that matches what they need. Unrelated job history that's not tailored to the job usually doesn't boost your chances, and it can even hurt you when you're trying to get into a new industry. That's why building focused skills skills wins over taking whatever's available in today's market. The big change is in how employers think about getting you ready for the role. Companies used to believe in showing you the ropes over time, but now they expect you to show them what you've got from day one. That's why skill-based hiring is growing fast, especially in fields like construction, IT, sales, operations, logistics and transportation, and manufacturing. These industries don't have time nor want to spend the capital for a long onboarding process. They need people who can start adding value almost immediately. So if you're feeling stuck, the fix usually isn't blasting out more applications or reworking your resume for the 100th time. The fix is to stop chasing jobs everyone else wants and start going after positions where companies actually need people. It is time to broaden your horizons. That's where learning specific skills pays off, not as some guaranteed shortcut, but as a way to put yourself in the right place at the right time with the right skills to add value on day one. At CourseCareers, we built everything around what's actually happening in the market today. We teach practical, ready-to-use skills for jobs that companies are hiring for right now. And you don't need a college degree or tons of prior experience to get started. That's why our courses focus on things like construction estimating, IT, sales, supply chain, and updated trade careers. Our students aren't trying to outsmart a broken system. They're taking a different route entirely. People like Tyrell and Alex came in with zero background, picked up targeted skills, and landed jobs paying $63,000 and $71,000 with no unpaid internship, no additional degrees required. Not because they had some special advantage, but because they picked a path that made sense. If you're not sure what lane fits you yet, that's totally fine. That's why we offer a free AI career counselor and free intro courses. So you can take a look at different paths and see what the day-to-day work actually looks like before committing. No guessing, no debt, no wasted years. I'll leave links in the description below if you want to check that out. The job market feels brutal, not because opportunities are gone, but because old hiring strategies have shifted. Once you get where there's still demand, which skills matter, and how hiring actually works today, the chaos starts to make sense and you don't feel like you're swimming upstream. The people who succeed aren't lucky, they're just aiming at the right targets. And once you do that, everything changes. All right, I'm interested to get your thoughts. Let me know in the comments if this resonated with you. I'd love to hear from you and get your take on the job market. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.